Period. Pretty.
Close that.
Can I pour this in?
No.
But I know.
Why you stop doing yours?
Ooh, why it look like that? Why you talk like that? It said, yeah.
Stop, girl.
Turp. I'm gonna
I don't know why my live ended.
turp.
Because YouTube said we done seen enough for you, ma'am. Y'all come on back. Join in with your girl.
Yes, y'all say. Hit her comments, hit her video, her song. Yeah, she good. Yeah, while you cooking. Just put some. It look like powder.
Stop. It's sugar. Hey y'all, we back. It ended me. I don't know why. Can y'all see?
It look like snow. Hey, Kiki. Mama.
What?
I want to stand
Why
up
is this coming off of here? What? Stop.
I want to pour what?
No.
I'll pour in this one.
I need to use
Mama. Move!
Who you need to say excuse you? Yeah, not move. Stop.
Move over.
Say excuse me.
Say please.
Damn.
Let's go.
Oh,
I smell.
it's just cornmeal, but yeah, smell it.
Let's smell.
Yeah. All right, let me get my skillet ready. What I do is I just put the oil in the skillet.
No, that's sugar, boy.
And then I let it preheat for like 5 minutes in the oven.
Mama, let me try to win in there. Oh,
Then we start the cornbread.
I broke it.
You didn't break it.
My hand.
It's been coming off.
Look, Mama.
Come over here. Come on, walk in.
Ow! You hurt me with that.
All right, sit up. All right.
What's that little devil
All right.
song that you got for her real beat?
Let me make.
I don't know. I'm not using that. I won't put it up.
Jenny, do
I got the one
play
I'm
double
using.
back.
Mama,
What?
hold it. Look at it.
No, what?
Look how far I
Hold
got.
it.
Mama.
I just hold it. Hold
Wait.
it. Hold it.
Go.
Then it's my turn.
Here, and then I did
My turn.
All right, this Jaleel go.
Y'all can look at that.
Go.
I should have started with this.
Okay, that's enough.
But
That's
she
enough.
did not put it up in the cookies.
All right, y'all can get down. Y'all can get down. We're done.
We still doing it.
Well, we're done as far as for y'all. As far as what y'all are concerned.
Yeah, Mama,
We're done.
let me know if it's still
Well, I'm about to mix. The season. The green beans. I like to use this Adobe.
Mama, you know what my teacher did?
What?
She put what my favorite
Onion powder.
Mama, you know that school bus was going on?
Mm-hmm.
They threw it away.
All right.
So I can't go. I need to stay home.
Girl, calm down.
Shut up.
Look, who you talking to?
No,
Girl, you better get on up out of here so you get popped in your mouth. Yeah, I don't know who you think you're talking to. But I ain't want her. It ain't me.
Yeah, who?
Yeah.
Yeah, who you talking?
Then I'm gonna add this butter in the green beans.
what's my shoe?
Get your shoes on. Y'all need to get y'all shoes on, John and Janelle. It's 6:45. We need to be walking out the door.
Y'all need to go to the what? The park. The market.
All right.
Please.
do the cornbread. Hey, Rocky.
Just let you do one.
About to mix the spaghetti. Matter of fact, I'm gonna wait till I get back to mix it. Just like I'm gonna wait till I get back. Come on, y'all, because I can go and put my cornbread in while I'm gone, and it can be cooking, because I'm just dropping y'all off, and I'm coming right back.
You said we was going to the park. No, we were dropping off.
Days we stay. It's not today, no. I did not say today. I said the days that we stay at dance practice, we don't have to stay in the parking lot. We can just go down the street to the park. That's what I said. But if I'm coming back today to finish my dinner, then we're not going to a park. I already said that. Get y'all shoes on so we can go. Thank you very much. I can look for that if it's in my store. You was Giddity the other day? Okay, Giddity. Yep, we're cooking again. About to head out the door to dance practice. We have spaghetti, green beans, and homemade cornbread. That's what we're cooking today. And thank you, subscribe. Come on, y'all. Janelle, shoes now. Come on, y'all, let me tie your shoe.
Mommy. Mommy. So this? No, these is my gloves. Mom, put on the other glove. So the glove. These are my gloves, but not your gloves.
Here.
These are my gloves. They my gloves.
So you could go pick up those ones?
No, yes.
As soon as
No. Yeah, my glove, my glove.
Is this the right foot? Is this
Are
the
y'all
right
ready?
foot?
yes, ma'am.
Is this the right foot? Is this the right foot? Yes.
Hey, listen.
Yes, Albert.
Put the shoe on the right. Sneaking all these on there.
I hope not.
That's what they do.
Oh, but it take forever. That's what Miss Glenn said.
No, I do take forever because she got to be precise and look how many sheets it is and look how she got to do it.
Oh.
But it don't look right when you get through. You ain't doing it with matching letters, right?
Right.
Letters and numbers.
Mm-hmm.
How
Did
you
these
doing?
pants have tops or no? Babe?
Right?
The new one.
What?
No.
Nah, I think so. Nah. They not gonna mess with that. Don't put it up. Don't put it inside of a drawer in the hallway. Yeah, you still ain't
It
gonna
don't matter. You better not touch it.
Yeah, I didn't tell her for the hide it from you.
I just told her to put it up out the way. Alright, and I can put the cornbread in the oven and we can go. Put my timer on for my 25 minutes. Guess my grease hot. Ugh. Yep, it's definitely ready. Let's start cooking that cornmeal a little bit with the hot grease from the skillet. And then pour it in the skillet. 25 minutes. It will be ready. Alright. 23 minutes. Alright, y'all, let's go. Let's get out the door. Alright, so cornbread is in the oven. No. Give me my stuff.
You got my butt. So,
Where the car keys at, Shallow?
I'm gonna get.
You got them?
I got them.
Get them. Okay.
I'm gonna start the clock.
Okay.
Here. Here.
Thank you. Alright, Johnny, shut the door behind you.
Stay.
Okay, y'all, we headed to dance practice.
And these are my gloves.
You said, oh my God, cornbread. I haven't had that in a minute up in Oregon. They don't know about that here.
So,
Cracker Barrel.
I can't stop.
Brings.
Mama, we gonna leave the leader.
No. Jalea, will you leave that tree alone?
Why she?
Jalea, stop it with the tree.
No.
Janelle, quit pulling on the door. It's ready.
Come on. My butt. Ow.
Come on, Jalea. Oh. Unlock Journey door, Jalea. Alright, get in your car seat, Shala.
My glove. My glove. No.
Hold on, y'all. You said they don't know about cornbread. Do you want your cornbread? You know what movie that's from? Seatbelts. Oh, y'all in them. Look at y'all.
Y'all.
Well, get in it, ma'am. This ain't Texas. This is Tennessee. Yeah, what y'all thought? Y'all already knew I was remixing it. Y'all should have knew I was not singing a Beyonce song.
Yeah, but still, you really.
Nah, it was my song. What pits?
What does pits mean?
I don't know. I'm trying to see. Yeah, when I get back home, my cornbread will be ready.
Mama, what the world?
What's that? Girl, no, you don't need no window down.
Please, Mama.
No. You want the window down? It's talking about it's 90 degrees outside. Girl, no.
Yeah.
You must want to have a heat stroke.
Well, I'm not happy. I'm trying to see tonight. Ooh, if I felt like it, I would go to
Mama,
a
Friday's parents not out.
Okay, they didn't send me no message. Told me
I have
them.
I
You got one?
I forgot to give you my strip.
Oh, I get a night out. That's what
Mama.
I'm talking about. I love y'all schools. What?
Can we go to Mr. Craig and ask him for a field trip for him? Because I never
But
got one.
Friday, yeah, we're going to use it because we're going to go to Alabama Saturday. But we may spend the night. Let's come back. Sunday.
I want to go on a field trip to the museum. Everybody else going, but I haven't got no perform.
Okay, well, you need to go ask for a note, ma'am.
I did.
Well, you go to the office and ask for one.
Miss Hair wasn't here, so I couldn't ask her.
Don't wait till the last minute.
That's the last one. Ours is Friday this week. You wasn't going. I know. Ours is
But you'll be in Alabama that next day.
Ours is on the 8th.
To let them go on his on the 10th.
Mama, can I go? Can you take me out of school? Well, I'm gonna be. Yeah. Can you take us out of school because the next after the 10th we're gonna have a competition Saturday. So.
Girl, you have a competition this week, which is the 4th.
Yeah, I know, but then there's the 11th. Can you take us out of school?
Why?
I want to watch Finding Nemo too.
Girl, no.
Oh my God.
Doing it. Ain't gonna allow that. So y'all need to be in school.
I learned enough.
What if we don't go to school?
It don't matter.
What if you don't go to school?
Then you won't be going on a field trip. It is Jalea and Shiloh's field trip, not y'all's.
They come to mine.
Girl, no they don't.
They come
They in school now. No, they don't. They came when they weren't in school. Just like you went on people's field trips when you weren't in school.
3.
Yes.
2.
You got 3.
I
I'm
ain't
homeless with 3 kids.
Okay, let them tell her we homeless with 6. So shoot. Okay. Hey Carl.
We should give them that
How you
tip.
doing? I've been meaning to tell you thank you for the cash app in case you didn't hear what I had said it.
Mama, them kids would not be
From the
that
past
nice.
cash app, I mean.
They go with their mama.
Appreciate you.
We need to give them that 10 that we got.
You done what?
The 10 that we got.
Why do you keep talking about that teen? She probably done spent it already.
But that's why Johnny didn't do the toilet paper.
What?
I don't care.
What about toilet paper?
Boy, I didn't.
Okay, we
shut
okay.
up.
Who you talking to?
Yeah, well, we thought.
Yeah.
Now let me.
No.
Girl B.
No.
Girl
Hush.
B.
I like my hair. I do. And don't care if you don't. Sometimes like
Mama.
your hair dry as fuck. And
I didn't stole that pinky.
this is how I want it, obviously.
Girl, you stole that backpack.
But I'm trying to figure out if I wanna roller set it or if I wanna flexi rod it
Julia,
or if I wanna keep
up.
Bantu knotting it. Can y'all be quiet?
But you know that backpack.
Jalea and Janelle.
Hey, y'all
Hush.
please just
I
hush. Y'all both crackheads, shut up. Did I say you shallow? Exactly, so shut up. You this had nothing to do with it.
Shut up.
Y'all need to quit telling each other shut up and hush.
Well, hush, shallow.
You should be telling us to hush.
Remember them small little shorts? You can't even fit them. After his whole
Let him wear whatever little shorts he want to wear, honey. Men wear little shorts.
when he was sagging. With
I can't.
Y'all could have been mad.
I'll read your comment when I'm get to the red light. You know, safety first. Safety first. I'm gonna see how the
if the bridge broke down.
Girl, can you hush? Nobody want to think about that.
I'm talking
That
about like
bridge,
if it
our
did,
bridge
how
is
we
not
gonna get to
thin.
school?
Somebody, if the weed ain't, that ain't our worry. Worrying about getting to school, worrying about people getting hurt for being on the bridge.
Girl, our bridge isn't as thin. We got a pillar in the middle.
Move this.
Oh, and Jordan, we got a pillar in the middle of our bridge. That means just one side will fall. The other
One side.
road was flat. Didn't have a pillar in the middle. We have a pillar in the middle. And our road isn't as thin as paper.
What is that? You can get it up. Said quit leaving in the car.
I was gonna pick that up right when I got back in here.
Make sure you take your water in with you. Because y'all need to stay hydrated anyway. Do you even be drinking water in practice?
We get it after practice. Well, we take breaks, so yeah.
Okay.
But then we get another one.
I need to bring. I'm gonna go to Piggly Wiggly or wherever and get those. Pick five drinks for 25 cases for $20. And I'm gonna bring 2 to the dance thing, and then we'll take 2 home. Then we'll take 1 on the road for Saturday. Yeah, cause y'all need to stay hydrated. Cause y'all dancers. Dancing for. Not dancing for money.
Got to
No.
be captain.
Dancing
so
for
close.
trophies, doing.
Mama,
Dancing for trophies. What?
I was so close.
So close to what?
To being captain
When?
with the Dynamo Angels. So close. We just had to quit the team.
Okay, girl, you can be captain on elite.
When?
And when you work up towards it,
When?
you already dance with the upperclassmen. So that's already a
Exactly.
start.
You in A group.
Right there. You in the A group. I mean,
I'm
you
just in
dance.
B group. Now,
A
did you
group
really
is
have to
back
park?
handsprings and other
Yeah, I had
types.
to park, even though I'm gonna leave straight out. Okay, now I can read your comment. I'm white, but I want to know where a white person can get their hair done like that, please. What type of hair do you have? Do you have Kiki type hair? Do you have straight hair?
Mama, we're going to the park.
No, we're finna go home. My cornbread is in the oven. We've already discussed that. We're not going to the park today. We'll go to the park tomorrow.
Today.
Girl, no, I did not.
Today.
Girl, ain't nobody trying to hear that. No, I did not, and you can hush. We're going home. My cornbread is in the oven, so you need to be quiet. Straight. The only way that you're going to be able to get your hair even attempting to look like this is to get your hair what's called a roller, a rod set. They're very small. A rod set. And yeah. You can get what's called a rod set, and it'll make it very curly. Very curly. That's actually what I'm going to get next. Like, that's what I'm going to do. One of my friends that specializes in natural hair, she reached out to me. She wanted me to lock up my hair, but I don't want to. But I may let her do me a rod set. So we've been talking about that. Because all I've been doing is just putting it in Bantu knots, like every other night, and taking it down in the mornings. Just didn't do that. Thank you for saying it's cute, because you know, some people don't understand, and some people are like, oh my God, look at her hair. Look at it. It's mine. If I had on a wig, I'd be like, oh my God, look at her with that wig on. What? No, the air is on. Or if I had on sewing. Look at her with that weave in her hair, trying to be like something she not. Like, you can't win for losing, honey. My hair is versatile. I can wear my hair any kind of way. I can wear my hair straight. Check my videos. You'll see it extra straight. You would think I had a perm. I don't. Haven't had a perm in 12 years. And I'm 43. I haven't had a perm since I was pregnant with my first daughter. And she is 11. So actually, it's almost been 13 because she'll be 12 this year. But yeah. I like just playing around with my hair. Because we've been lied to about our hair all this time, making us think, oh, we don't have good hair. You want to put a perm in your hair, which is messing it up, destroying it. My girls will never have a perm. Not in my house. If they get grown and decide they want to put perms in their head, power to you. But the way that I've taught them and trained them up, they don't want no perms because they understand the different the versatility that their hair has. What?
Do you have barbecue chips?
Barbecue chips? No, I don't.
Do you have fun?
No.
And then what do you have?
Charlotte, we don't have nothing in the car.
Do you have your backpack?
Yes, I do.
Can I get some?
There's nothing in there other than now laters. There's no chips in there. Not no chips that you want. I got them hot chips in there. You don't want them. I don't have no barbecue chips in this bag at all. Sorry, sir. I don't. When Johnny and them get out of... Nope. I was going to say when they get out of dance break. We'll see. We may stop. Tied up in locks for a while and it will come out.
When we go to the park, that's what you say.
Yeah, you can tell that person. Like, that's what I told them. Like,
after they would not go, can we go to the park?
no. Red 40 is bad for developing kids. Did I miss something? Did I mention something that has red 40 in it? Let me know. And everything is bad for us these days. Don't you realize that they putting chemicals in our everyday food? So even the food that you think is healthy, you better look around. Most of the foods we have here in the U.S. is banned in other countries for a reason. But yet us as Americans still consume them. Everything. They putting everything in the meats, chunking up the meat, making the chickens bigger, making your hamburger meat, like they making everything seem prices going up in less amounts. What, Shalom?
I don't want barbecue at the stuff.
Okay.
So can we go to the stuff?
Not right now. I have to get my cornbread out the oven.
And then we can go?
No, you can get them when I get them from dance practice. Why do you keep asking the same question? After dance practice.
We're going to the park.
Girl, no. You can come and play in your backyard. Is what you can do.
There ain't no park in there.
You don't need a park.
They could build one.
Girl, we're not building no park.
No, I'm talking about the other people, Mama.
No.
What's going?
What?
I want some chips from this store.
What did I say? Wait. Now, if we get home and Lil Ty here and he feel like going to the store, you can get you some chips. But if he don't, then you're going to have to wait. And I'm not going to say it again. My previous live stopped while I was cooking the spaghetti and the green beans and putting my cornbread in the oven. I don't know what was up, but it stopped. Oh.
There's chicken right here.
Alright. Look. But there's nothing in there. Get out.
It is chicken.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out the car. I love when people project themselves on others. Go contact your crack dealer. Yeah. Everybody else, did y'all see that nice looking food? Did y'all see that nice looking food? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you?
They always gave me some chips.
You got some chips? Yes, you can. You sure can. Alrighty. Yeah, ain't nobody got time for you. You trolling all over there hungry. That's why you mad. It sure do, Kuma boy. It sure do. Ain't nothing like some leftover spaghetti. Yep. You don't see it. Jalea and Shiloh, y'all ready to eat? Now the smaller ones can eat now if they want. And then the bigger ones can eat when they get home from dance practice. Check out that cornbread. Homemade. Alright. I'm done. Shiloh and Jalea, are y'all ready to eat? What they say? Yes, let the sauce soak into the spaghetti. I used to like leave it separated until like whatever was left, and then I would just mix that to store. But yeah, I like to mix it. Are they ready? Oh, well, they're not ready yet. So I can sit down. I was supposed to be doing the StreamYard live, but my other one cut off. But I'm done cooking. Done cooking. This bad mom of 6, you know, done cooking for her children. You know, I'm a bad mom. let these people on the YouTube tell it. I really don't care what they have to say. I really don't care what they have to say. They are miserable in their own lives. Yeah, I actually can go live. I have 2 hours. Yes, they do. You can't win for losing with these people on here. You either cook, then you don't cook, then you feed them fast food. Like, don't worry about what we're doing over here. They probably get fast food twice a month. Like, for real, twice a month. But yeah, I'm done cooking, so, like I said, I was supposed to do a stream yard on the Sade Robinson case. Y'all know Sade Robinson? Have y'all heard about the Sade Robinson case? Yay, nay. I need to go take a... No? You haven't? Would you like to hear about it? Can I give you, like, can I show you something briefly? And then you let me know if you're interested? Which I have people that have been asking me to talk about it in the crime sector. But like I said, I like to talk... I wanted to do a stream, y'all, where I could actually share my screen and show you guys. But I can show you this, at least. Nancy Grace. We're going to watch the Nancy Grace. Yeah, 1 minute.
Your coffee?
I don't have any more coffee. I have to get some. Oh no, we're going to watch Law and Crime.
I drank this water.
Law and Crime.
Open that.
Wait a minute. Hold up, y'all. I got to get out my headphones.
Open that.
Wait a minute.
When a severed leg is found near a golf course along Lake Michigan.
Hold
I
up,
just think
y'all.
it's just horrific. If you look at the texting conversation, to me it just seems like a simple conversation of 2 people getting together to meet out on a first date.
But what follows that first date is a crime that shocks the Midwest when a severed leg is found near a golf course along Lake Michigan.
Hey, Jordan. Thank you for...
It's just horrific.
During a chase across Milwaukee, with detectives on the hunt for more body parts.
You know, you just use the clue that you have. Why is there a leg here? How could a leg have gotten here? You know, what nefarious things could have possibly gone on here?
Quick investigative work leads to an arrest days later, and now the accused murderer is behind bars. But the case itself still brings up many question marks that could soon be answered.
I do expect just a lot of evidence to be put on to show that the police had reasonable suspicion and good grounds to believe that he actually murdered her.
The case takes us back to the start of the month, and on April 2nd, a severed leg was found here at Warnemont Park in Cudahy, Wisconsin. That's just south of Milwaukee. Investigators noted the leg had nail polish and appeared to have been
Sorry, y'all. I apologize. Okay, so this is the like the, I guess, the affidavit or whatever they're talking about. Like, her vehicle disappears, you know, from video footage consistent with the video driving down, you know, the road leads to the house and all that, whatever. But I'm gonna finish it.
Multiple cutting impressions around the amputation point, as well as sharp force trauma to the exposed femur bone. However, the top of the femur bone appeared to have been snapped off. The leg appeared to have been intentionally severed with a sharp instrument, including the bone being sawn halfway through. The leg wasn't decomposing yet either, meaning it had likely been dropped off in the recent past. Here's where we bring in trial attorney Affy Patterson to discuss the case. What are the first thoughts going through investigators' minds? How are they going to connect this to someone when all they have is a piece of a body?
So I think, again, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. You know, they canvassed the area. They looked for any signs, any clues. I think I read in the affidavit of probable cause how a certain detective knew that area and knew in order to be in that area, you had to have special access. You know, there was a gate that prevented you from getting to that area. So I think they just, you know, they used every tool that they had, and, you know, they did a good job. You know, you just use the clues that you have. Why is there a leg here? How could a leg have gotten here? You know, what nefarious things could have on here? You know, you think of that and then you take it from there.
From there, Met detectives began the investigation immediately. They started by getting surveillance video from nearby Cudahy High School that faces the park and the shoreline. Video showed a vehicle heading toward the drop-off location at about 2:53 a.m. on April 2nd. That same morning, the Cudahy Water Department reported that someone had rammed a vehicle into the gate. So detectives went to the scene and collected broken pieces from that vehicle. They were eventually determined to belong to a Honda Civic. Remember that make and model, it comes back later. But according to Affy, all this legwork was the right move.
Every department, every district is different. Every department has resources assigned to different priorities. But I think that absolutely they did exactly what they were supposed to do and what's customary. They canvassed the area. They looked for and residential places that may have had video, which was really helpful for them. They just scattered body parts, everything that they could, and I think that it seems that they spent a considerable amount of time very, very quickly looking into the situation, which is why they got the result they did.
So the same evening that the severed leg is found, investigators first hear the name Sade Robinson when a friend reported her missing at about 9 p.m. She worked at a Milwaukee restaurant called Pizza Shuttle, but didn't show up for her shift that day.
She always
the friend told police that Sade's last known location was at Duke's on Water, a sports bar near the Milwaukee River. Her Snapchat location was from the day before. At the same time, investigators are connecting the dots to a vehicle fire from the early morning hours of April 2nd. It was found on the north side of Milwaukee at about 7:30 in the morning, and the car was, you guessed it, a 2020 Honda Civic. Investigators later determined the car had been registered to Sade. In the trunk, they found the clothing she was wearing the evening of April 1st. A black puffer coat, light blue ripped jeans, and white socks, along with her dark grayish-brown purse.
Wow.
They also found Sade's iPhone in the trunk. Initially, she had been reported missing, and then around the same time, part of these remains were recovered, and investigators kind of connected the dots. But at first, it was only that she may be associated with these remains. Why would it have taken so long for them to publicly say, yes, these are the remains belonging to Sade?
Because I think it's, you know, you're going through an investigation. You want to cross all of your T's, dot all of your I's. So you don't want to just come out. You know, we're so used to being in a place now the last, 8-9 years where we get information and, we just run with it and we take it to the public because, that's where we are with social media. Everything is at our fingertips. But I think that investigators and officers
I don't like how they covering these.
Helped in the investigation later. What would all of that look like as far as investigators digging into the night that they did spend together? Because it was the first date, the first time that they were together, and then she was never seen again.
Yeah, and I think that they did a really fine job. If you look again at the affidavit of probable cause, I think they subpoenaed the...
Let's get on to the
all
text
this
conversation.
pushed the investigation into high gear, especially when investigators took a look at Sade's text history. There's a copy of the conversation in the criminal complaint. The 414 number, a Milwaukee area code, is Sade's number. The 262 number is the person she was meeting up with. Detectives later traced that number to Maxwell Anderson. More on him later. So here's what the conversation looks like. Sade starts it off. Where are we meeting? I can do 5. Downtown somewhere? Okay. Brought house on 3rd? Perfect. Okay, I'm going to shower quick. I'll probably get there more around 5:15. Are you hungry? I need to stop at Twisted Fisherman to pick up my W-2 from last year, and we could eat there first. Okay, and yes. Are we eating at the Brought House or at the other place? Let's eat at Twisted. I'm feeling seafood. Yes, I love seafood. Sounds good. I'm about to leave. I'll be there soon. And here are the last 3 messages. Quote, just got to Twisted. Are you inside? Yes. So through all this, detectives learned Sade and Maxwell Anderson are meeting up for a first date at this place, Twisted Fisherman in Milwaukee. Per the text, Maxwell said he used to work there, and that's later corroborated with staff who spoke to Maxwell that night. He said he was, quote, staying at the Twisted Fisherman to meet a female for a first date.
You don't think that someone who is going to take you to a place where they were employed for a first date, you don't think he would do anything harmful to you afterwards, right? I'm sure she felt like she was in a great and safe space.
Surveillance video from Twisted Fisherman shows Maxwell enter the restaurant at 5:09 p.m. on April 1st. 11 minutes later, Sade walks in and sits next to him, and together they leave at 6:24 p.m. To figure out the rest of their movements, detectives went back to Sade's phone.
That was a quick dinner.
After spending time at Twisted Fisherman, Sade's phone traveled to the area near Duke's on Water, the same place her friend saw as her Snapchat location. From there, Sade's phone travels to a residential area in southwest Milwaukee. The phone pings in the exact location of Maxwell Anderson's home. Hours after that, the phone pings at Warnemont Park, where the severed leg was later discovered.
They did a fantastic job itemizing everything from the text messages to where she was at the first location, the second location, his home, and where her, we don't know if the phone was necessarily with her, but where her phone was until it was discovered.
This is terrible.
The lies.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph, I promise.
The cover-ups.
I could see his brain on
Located on bedding in one of the bedrooms and on the walls leading toward the basement. Several gasoline containers were located in the garage/storage area. 2 days after all this, on April 6th, investigators find a human foot and flesh in northwest Milwaukee.
Wow.
Investigators determined this foot and the leg found at Warnemont Park appear to be from the same individual, particularly due to skin tone, size, and having matching pink nail polish.
Wow.
It's important to note the foot and the flesh were found about 1 block from where Sade's burning car was recovered days prior. It's also important to note Maxwell Anderson was caught on bus surveillance video in the area near the burning car just after it was first reported.
Wow.
According to the criminal complaint, he was wearing the exact clothing depicted on the subject fleeing the scene of the vehicle arson, including the large tank with tan straps. But at this point, we still didn't know Maxwell's name. We as the public knew about this case, knew that the remains had been discovered, someone was in custody, a person of interest, but no charges had been filed. So why would it take so long from the point that he was detained to when he finally was charged?
You know, again, it depends. You know, when you're detained, you can be detained for a certain period.
I'm so glad they caught him.
For an investigation.
But it's crazy because the blood inside his house don't even match her.
And be charged with a crime.
So it's like, what did he unalive her?
I did not read the fact that he was detained for 1 week. Usually, it's 48 hours. For a felony, 24 hours for a misdemeanor before you go before a judge. So I don't know if he was detained and he was held maybe on, I don't know if he had any prior charges. Maybe he was held with a probation violation or something of that sort. But usually it's 48 hours for a felony. But again, you know, I think within that week, investigators had time.
Which means he done had other victims.
Investigating that they needed to do.
The blood inside the home was not hers. Did not match her.
Charge that would stick.
Maxwell was finally charged on April 12th. And the charges that he faces right now are first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and then arson. Are these appropriate charges? Could he have faced additional charges?
Oh, absolutely, they're appropriate charges. Absolutely.
And is it possible that they add charges in addition to what he already faces?
They can always add charges.
Yeah, because
there's
whose blood is in
always,
his
there are always
apartment if
things
it
that
ain't
you can,
hers?
uncover as you investigate, and they're going to continue their investigation. So absolutely, charges can be put on at any time.
From here, there could still be more investigative work ahead. Is it possible that additional parts of the body could be found around the area?
It could be found anywhere. It's so frustrating, just thinking about it and talking about her as a leg and as body parts. It's frustrating because we've all been young, or we know young people who you just hope for the best for them, and to just have them reduced to a
This
leg.
girl had
It's
a
kind of
good
frustrating.
head on her shoulders,
But yeah,
graduating.
body parts could be anywhere.
Here
And
come this
again, I'm
loser.
sorry. It's just really upsetting to
take
hear
her life.
and to even to just talk about.
And while the nature of the case is gruesome, Affy doesn't believe that will slow down investigators. I think another difficult aspect of this case is that she was dismembered, that different remains were found in different locations. So is that going to make things more difficult in terms of deciphering how she was killed or where and when?
I don't think so. When you leave it up to the coroner to determine how she died, time of death, I think it'll be fine. I don't think the dismemberment is going to be an issue. But of course, the more information you have, the better. But no, I don't think it's going to be an issue.
But we're still unclear why any of this happened at all. How important in a case like this is motive and determining what led up to Sade's murder?
And, thank goodness motive is never an element of a crime. I think when you have jurors always want to know, because, they're human beings, we're all human beings. Why? Why would you do this? What was going through your mind? Was there some sort of mental illness, or had you already been planning this? Had you done this to other people? We always want to know what the motive is, but it's not an element of the crime, so it's not going to play a role in his prosecution. But of course, it's nice to have a motive to be able to explain something to a jury, or his defense team might want to emphasize or the absence of a motive.
Right, like Jeffrey Dahmer.
But again, it's not an element of a crime.
You mentioned his defense team. What sort of defense could Maxwell Anderson have in a case like this?
Insanity, or it wasn't me.
How would his defense go to prove either of those
Ain't
things?
no way.
So let's say not guilty by reason of mental infirmity or insanity. You would have to prove that there's some sort of diagnosis. At the time that he committed the crime, he did not have the capacity to understand what he was doing. He had some type of mental disease or defect. You'd have to prove that. You'd probably want to look into a history of, to see if he has a history of mental illness, or see if he can get a mental health evaluation, maybe be diagnosed with some sort of mental illness. Otherwise, he could just argue that, of course, it wasn't him, but there's so much overwhelming evidence that shows that it was him. So I think that would be a challenge for his defense team. But those are the only two defenses I can think of right away.
We don't quite know why, but what about the how? Another question mark we have in the case right now is the murder weapon. We know, according to the criminal complaint, that parts of Sade's body appear to have been sawed off, but we don't have any sort of weapon right now.
Terrible.
Is that going to be something really important for the prosecution to present in the case, or does it even matter?
It does matter, but I don't think you need a murder weapon to get a conviction, just like you don't always need a body to get a conviction. So it's a matter. It may be something that's of benefit to his defense, but at the end of the day, I don't think it matters.
He done this, huh?
But it's likely there are things about this
and
case
I'm sorry
we
we're talking
still
about this
don't know
on the
yet.
video that I just
And
showed
being
y'all
from
my
Wisconsin
dinner, but at least I
myself,
was
I've
done
actually
cooking.
heard some
So I'm gonna change the
off-the-record
title of this
information
video.
about this case from multiple different people. This hasn't been made public, but I have seen other news stations locally in Milwaukee reporting similar things. Allegations that there may have been a sex dungeon in his basement, that the room may have been soundproof, things like that. Not confirmed yet, but some people are talking about it. Is this information that we could expect to see at a prelim?
Absolutely. And it's so interesting that you say that, because when I was reading this, my thoughts were, who has come before this young girl? Who has he victimized before? So it makes so much sense that you say that he's got a sex dungeon, and maybe he lures young women to his home for
me.
whatever private practices he has. But that makes so much sense that you say that.
And I am wondering too, in that vein, this is pretty severe to go right to murder and then dismemberment. So as you were saying, there could have been prior women or men who he had victimized before this. So is it possible that seeing his name or his photo across Wisconsin that these people would come forward with additional information?
Absolutely. Not only that, I think that it's going to trigger thoughts. People might say, oh, he's a pretty good guy. We would never expect anything of him. And then you might start thinking, wait a second, he does have like these odd habits. He has these odd patterns. He has, these odd proclivities that I pretty much dismissed as, that's just him. But no, maybe it triggers you to think that, hey, maybe it's a little bit more. Maybe I'll come forth. Maybe I'll talk to the officers. And maybe that can help this investigation.
And next week he's due in court for his preliminary hearing. What could we expect there?
So a preliminary hearing is just when you basically have the investigating officers and you may have some witnesses and you testify and you just discuss basically the evidence that you have against that person. A preliminary hearing is what we in some places call a probable cause hearing, and basically the court makes a probable cause determination to say that yes, this person can be charged with a crime or these charges will stick. We can try this person. So I do expect just a lot of evidence to be put on to show that the police had reasonable suspicion and good grounds to believe that he actually murdered her.
Maxwell Anderson is set to appear Monday for his preliminary hearing. For now, he's being held on $5 million bond.
Good.
Reporting for Long Crime,
Good.
I'm Sierra Gillespie.
500. Ooh, that's what's up. Oh, that's terrible, y'all. That's terrible. Let's see. Oh no, what? Yeah, he did something to animals as a child. Something. Yeah, too many of these cases popping up, and I just think it's just because now with social media we have access to hear about them, whereas in the past, we didn't have access to just hear about stories the way we're hearing about them. I want us to go to Nancy Grace because I love how she broke it down. Let's see. Yeah, but like I said, the blood in the basement is not even hers. And he had a whole dungeon. So he definitely got to have some more victims. Yeah. This is the part. Because they found 3 different sets of body parts. So I don't know if they were all from her. Right, we don't hear about it. And that's why I said on my MomBossMayo channel, I was going to start talking about that more on that channel.
Seemingly scattered, some say dispersed.
Is it playing?
Intentionally across Metro Milwaukee, not just murder, but careful dissection, human dismemberment. Tonight, into the mind of a human butcher. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. I want to thank you for being with us. Human body is a whole nother animal. Again, thank you for being with us. First of all, take a listen to this.
5:30 p.m. April 2nd, Cudahy police respond to a call along Lake Michigan. At Warnemont Park, a popular recreation area, a park goer reports finding a severed human leg. According to a post from Cudahy Sheriff's Office, the limb was found in or near the water east of the golf course near the pump house. There are steep cliffs leading to the shoreline in that area, and large numbers of police canvassed the area and kept away gawkers.
Can you imagine that scene? Body parts found around 5:30 p.m. police responding to a call along Lake Michigan. You know, so often we cover cases where a jogger, a walker finds a body. What about body parts? Straight out to our guest joining us, an all-star panel to make sense of what we're knowing right now, to Bill Daly, former FBI investigator and expert in forensic photography. Bill Daly, thank you for being with us. You know, I've seen many a gruesome crime scene, but body parts is a whole nother thing. You ever had a dismembered body?
Well, certainly I've covered those photos as being a forensic photographer and having to prepare the background documentation in the laboratory. So I am kind of familiar with the situation. I'm also familiar, to answer the fact that unfortunately we've seen this happen here in our country before. It was only about a month ago where in Suffolk County, New York, early morning schoolgoers through a park found a severed arm. So unfortunately, we're seeing this now happen in our country. And why it's a phenomenon, not saying these two are connected in any way, but it's something that we're seeing happening.
Definitely
and the
connected.
question is why? Why are people driven to commit, if this is an act of murder, why are they forced to commit those acts?
Well, number one, I can tell you this much, Bill Daly. It is an act of murder unless the person killed themselves and severed their own body parts. But you read my mind.
I don't know.
Because one of my big thoughts is, are dismemberment on the rise? Because in the last month, we've seen 3 separate dismemberment cases. I'm not talking about just in Milwaukee, but you're absolutely correct. And Alexis Korechek, I'm going to be with you in just one moment, but I want to follow up on what Bill Daly said with Dr. Eric Eason, board-certified forensic pathologist, consultant. You can find him on Insta, Eric under Eason. Dr. Eason, thank you for being with us. When you look at dismembered body parts, I'm very curious about what you can learn.
Yep, I
from
said
the
them
actual
shots. Then I said
marks.
when I thought of them COVID shots, you know, well, ask somebody. We'll bring it here. When I thought of the C word, the jab, I thought of the apocalypse and Walking Dead and all that. Sure did. Here. And now all of a sudden people out here just doing wild, crazy stuff. No one in my house received the jab. No one. It make you think. You on to something.
If it's from the person severed by
These kids got me sick.
a knife, a sword even. We've had that before, a machete type sword used in severance. And the reason I ask is because certain tools actually have to be plugged in at the time, which gives me another idea and a clue as to where the dismemberment occurred.
Clearly not in his house.
It's called tool mark analysis, and so what we do in the morgue is we'll examine the remains initially and take photographs and do some other examinations. We'll look at the edges of the bones,
This is
try
not
and look
going
for what
in
we
there.
call
It's too little.
striations on the bones, and then we refer to a forensic anthropologist to
Hold
do
on,
a
hold
better
on,
exam.
hold on. Dr. Eason, remember, we're just mere mortals. You're the medical examiner. And you say striation marks. The first time I dealt with striation marks, S-T-R-I-A, T-I-O-N, striation, was with ballistics. Looking at these striation marks on 2 bullets. The known bullet, which you fire at the crime lab, and the unknown bullet, which is taken from a crime scene. You think you have the murder weapon? You shoot a bullet through with that murder weapon, then go under a microscope, and you see wiggle lines. And if they match, the 2 bullets match, you know it's from that gun.
Right,
so striation marks, in my mind, are tool marks left by a gun. So what's a striation mark as it relates to a severed body? I don't want to get too deep in the woods here, but I want to know the answer to that.
Well, instead of being left by a gun, it would be left by the metal pieces of the saw or the axe or a serrated knife or something like that, that when it goes through the bone, it's going to leave the marks onto the bone, similar to when a bullet goes through the barrel.
Bone.
Right.
Now
Right,
I understand.
on the
So it's
bone.
the markings left on
Terrible.
the bone. See, I was thinking about looking at the skin
Nightbot,
to
I
see
had
what kind of
deprogrammed
marking was
Nightbot. He
left on the
going
skin, if
crazy.
you could
He'll
tell
stop in a minute.
what tool was used. But that's making much more sense to me because the skin is so pliable, you can't get a good read on the tool used. You looking at the bone. Now I get it. The markings left on the bone will tell you what type of tool was used. If you can figure that out, it helps you figure out where the dismemberment occurred. Okay, I am getting way DEFCON 4 here on the striation marks
man,
on
crazy.
bones. When you look at a dismembered body, but let's get back to this. Hey, Bill Daly, former FBI investigator and renowned forensic photography expert, do you remember the first dismembered body you photographed?
I actually do remember seeing those first photos. That was in a mob type of style hit, and certainly it was a message that was being sent to other mobsters. So I do remember it.
You know, that's curious because I bet everybody on this panel remembers the first time they saw a dead body. I do. The first time I saw an autopsy photo. It sticks with you forever. So my point is to Alexis Tereszchuk joining me, crimeonline.com investigative reporter. Can you imagine the person that comes upon an actual body part, not a picture, not a depiction, not a description written in a police report, the real thing. Now, then there's a series of 3 sets of body parts found, some say strewn, some say intentionally placed across Milwaukee. Tell me about the first set.
So the first thing that is found is a severed leg. So and again, you're talking about bodies. This isn't seeing your grandmother in the coffin at her funeral. This is an actual broken, torn apart leg found by Lake Michigan, which is, if people don't, Lake Michigan is like an ocean. It is so big. So you think, did something wash up on the shore? Where did this leg come from? But it wasn't eaten away or it wasn't damaged too much. It was clearly identifiable as
Okay, wait.
The first thing that we found.
Hold on. Got a question for you, Alexis. You say, it's a severed leg, but you're saying it was in good shape for us in forensics. Are you saying the leg was still in good shape?
I am actually saying the leg was in good shape. It wasn't unidentifiable.
Of course it was in good shape because he had just done it.
It wasn't something where you just found the bone.
That's important, Alexis, that one phrase you used. Because when you take this to a jury, you've got to be able to determine how old, let me rephrase, how long the person has been killed. Dr. Eric Eason joining us, renowned medical examiner. Dr. Eason, we're using lay terms, Alexis and I, that the leg was in, quote, good shape. That's actually significant because you can date the time, not necessarily within a 30-minute period, but how many days have passed if the leg is still in good shape. When you get a skeletonized bone, forget about it. You're not going to be able to date the death. But what can you learn from this one dismembered leg? And this is critical to this case.
Well, with the skin intact and hopefully the muscle intact and hopefully the bone marrow would still be intact, you can use that to run DNA testing and try and match it with who the victim was. That's the important thing. You know, when you get skeletonized remains that have been around for a couple of years, it's more difficult to get a DNA sample. But from this one, you should be able to get a pretty good sample and try and figure out who this person was.
Also, you can determine when the murder occurred based on the condition of the leg.
Right.
If decomp has totally set in, that gives me a timeline. If the leg looks like it's fresh, for lack of a better term, that gives me a timeline. Then I try to figure out who's missing in that timeline. And can you tell immediately looking at the leg, isn't this true, Dr. Eason? You can tell immediately whether it's a woman or a man, an adult or a child, the race. You can learn so much. Yes?
Right. Yes.
Now, that's compared to when you find a skeletonized body part and you look at, say, a femur, which is part of the leg, or the tibia. can you look at a bone, a skeletonized bone, doctor, and determine, based on the leg bone alone, whether it's a male or a female?
It'd be tough for me to do it, and so we have special doctors known as forensic anthropologists that actually examine bones. They only examine bones, so they'd be able to handle something like that. But I do know that
but it can be done.
You really need a pelvis. It can be done, yeah. Just not by me.
Yes, because the pelvis is shaped in a manner where you can determine if the pelvis is fit to have children. It's the only way I know how to say it. Is there a better way to say that, a more clinical way?
A wider birth canal, possibly. To allow for the passage of a...
right, okay. I'm going to stick with mine, if you don't mind. You say potato, I'll say potato. Going forward, Alexis Tereshchuk, back to you. And remember, we've got Dr. John Delatorre, Matthew Mangino, former prosecutor, now private lawyer, Bill Daly, Dr. Eason. Jump in if you have a thought or a question. So, Alexis, what is it, a jogger, a walker? Who finds a severed leg by Lake Michigan?
Right, just somebody that is in the park. This is a public park. It's not a hidden area at all. So just somebody out walking finds the leg, and they contact the local police immediately because it's, as I said, clearly identifiable as a leg. It's not even a bone, and you would think, oh,
right, it's
a
a whole
leg, coyote or something. It's an actual leg.
You know, Matthew Mangino with me. Yeah, jump in.
See, I would going back to your thought before about identifying, a leg like this, which appears to be fairly recent. You'd also be looking for things such as tattoos, looking for other markings on the skin that may be still there that could give an indication as to, you suggested, any people who may have been missing in and around that time frame. So investigators will start to look at those type of things. Certainly, if the body part has a hand, maybe there are rings or some other identifying marks that might be tied back to perhaps some missing persons.
5:30 p.m., April 2nd, Cudahy police respond to a call along Lake Michigan. At Warnemont Park, a popular recreation area, a park goer reports finding a severed human leg. According to a post from the Cudahy Sheriff's Office, the limb was found in or near the water east of the golf course near the pump house. There are steep cliffs leading to the shoreline in that area, and large numbers of police canvassed the area and kept away golfers.
3 whole sets of body parts. This is terrible.
3 days after the Warnemont Park discovery, another call to police about a severed body part. 11 miles away from the shores of Lake Michigan in a Milwaukee West Side neighborhood, a body part is found at a playground. Police received the call around 10 p.m. Friday night, but investigators are tight-lipped on exactly where the body part is found or what remains are recovered.
Right. I don't know why they were so tight-lipped. Like,
okay,
honey, let us know.
First, a severed leg washes up. Well, it's found. Don't know if it washed up, but it's found by Lake Michigan. When I say wash up, Alexis, I always think about Lacey Peterson and her unborn child, Connor, because they washed up there at San Francisco Bay. You and I covered that together. Now, 3 days after the severed leg is discovered beside Lake Michigan, worst nightmare.
More body parts.
Body parts on a playground. This is 3 days after the severed leg is found.
Y'all. They finding body parts.
Exactly. 3 days after the severed leg is found, they find there's a park where kids play, like playground with jungle gym, and human remains are found, the body part. Now, the police have not said what this body part
Scott
is,
Peterson was in your area. You know they opening
about 10 miles away from where the first
case they opening back up.
Milwaukee's a huge city, 10 miles.
Are all those Petersons here?
Dr. John Delatorre joining me, licensed psychologist who specializes in forensic psychology. Dr. Delatorre, placing body parts at a child's playground? First of all, I want to say, don't you have a problem with that? But that's on so many levels. You've got a murder, obviously. You've got a dismemberment, and you have the killer. That's why when I hear scattered across Milwaukee, this isn't scattered. Scattered, like thrown out of the car, like litter or trash.
You're not going to hear it all because I don't want to get
the third set of body parts.
But this is where the body parts was found.
Curious. Alexis Tereshchuk.
Right here. Wait a minute.
about the discovery of
Right
human
here.
remains. On Saturday, just a few blocks from the same West Side Milwaukee area as Friday's discovery, police set up a crime scene near a park. Around 7:15 p.m., the medical examiner arrives to remove the body part. Police block off the area and canvass well past midnight, according to neighbors.
Right, but you know the other Peterson, not Lacey, other one where the husband was in jail for killing his second wife because they couldn't prove or they couldn't find, was it Stacy Peterson? They couldn't find her remains, but her sister has been searching for her remains and claims to have found her remains in a canal. But I guess she need help, getting them out. That one. Yeah, Drew Peterson. Yes, Drew. Drew Lisa. Yes, Drew Lisa. Isn't it like 3 Petersons in jail? It's Drew Peterson, Scott Peterson, and then there's another Peterson. Are they all kin? Do y'all know? Hey, Sunshine. Do y'all know if they kin? Let me know. And then look at this playground where they found the other body parts.
Near
like
Lake Michigan.
These people have
set. Go ahead.
No concern for
The
children.
second set was found in a park.
Look, right here.
About 11 miles away. This was the playground park.
No relationship.
And then two
okay.
more found really within, a triangle.
Look, y'all, this is one of the body parts.
And these aren't huge parks. It's not
like this ain't no big park. This is
They're
a dang
small neighborhood parks where things are found, and that's why they're found
a street park
by people that are going to them.
You mean parks as in jungle gym parks?
Yes, exactly.
And that was important to me, Alexis, because if you've got an open park, which is basically green space, that's one thing. But a park where you've got a merry-go-round or swings or a jungle gym, clearly meant for children, as opposed to just green space where you can walk around, that's a whole nother animal right there. So 3 parks. This is meant for children
I live
to
in
find.
Tennessee.
The first one by Lake Michigan at Warnemont Park. The second one, according to my notes anyway, April 5. The first is April 2. The second is April 5 near North 30th and Lisbon Street. The third one, as I recall, not too far away, a couple of blocks away at North 30th and West Galena Street. So all 3 actually at playgrounds.
Yeah.
All in little parks. Somewhere, and they're in neighborhoods.
And then look right here what they found.
Listen.
Sade Robinson's family joins the searches near the playground over the weekend. While police find unidentified human remains, Robinson's family discovers a blanket belonging to Sade. The distinct pink blanket pictures Sade with her beloved dog, Coco.
This a whole blanket. Her dog that passed away.
Discovered, the family is losing hope Sade will be found alive.
Alexis Terezchuk, soon after that, a car is found burning and a blanket.
The blanket has a young woman on it and with a dog, and it looks to be like a tribute to the dog that passed away. So we're saying rest in peace, and it's pink, and it has a picture of the dog. It looks like the dog was named Coco Chanel.
I don't know what this world is coming to, but Jehovah's surely on his way back.
Someone's beloved pet that died, but they find this in the park.
Definitely.
It's dirty. It's in not good shape, and it's in a park.
Alexis, curious, is this blanket, and we actually have one of these with our dog Fat Boy and our cat Cinnamon on it. The twins got it for Christmas. We have a pet tribute blanket, and the twins fight over it. So, was that blanket near one of the parks where the body parts were found?
Yes, it was. And it's clearly a beloved pet. It's pink. It has a girl smiling on it. It's something that somebody really loved.
Girl smiling on it. Mm-hmm. Curious right there. I'm curious how you would approach this, Bill Daly, formerly with the FBI. You find a discarded blanket, filthy, wet, with a pet on it. And let's see it again. Let me see that blanket, because I can see the face of a woman on the top right, near the body parts where they were found. How do you go about tracing this blanket? And is it connected?
Well, I mean, there's certainly, several things you can do. Some will take longer than others. I mean, you can forensically start to treat that in the laboratory, look for, traces of hairs or other fibers, or try to identify who that person, who the owner was. And you can also do things such as even using recognition. You can scan the image of the face and compare it to known databases to see if one pops up. There's technology out there that allows law enforcement to search publicly available databases like driver's license databases, etc. So, some things you can start to do to try to find out if they're interested in finding who the owner of the blanket is. And it certainly sounds like it'd be something you'd want to find out, given some of the other suspicious circumstances that are occurring around the city.
Almost immediately after the blanket is found, a mysterious, I don't know the timing, okay. Then to add to the mystery, a car set on fire.
On fire.
Listen.
3 days after missing Sade Robinson's car is found burning in an alley near 30th and Lisbon Street, Milwaukee police find an unspecified human body part Friday evening at a playground just a block away. Over the weekend, authorities returned to the area to continue searching on the woods and train tracks behind the park. Unidentified remains are recovered both Saturday and Sunday.
Wow.
Welcome back. Alexis Tereshchuk, a car on fire.
Yep.
And now we learn that that car belongs to who?
Sade Robinson. She is 19 years old. She is still in high school, but she's taking classes at the local technical college. She's about to graduate.
Yeah.
She has a full-time job. She is
Pretty
working at a pizza place right near her house, and the car belongs to her. And it is found 1 block away from the park, one of the parks, where the human remains.
Man, this is terrible, man.
It is burned from the inside, something that the police have noticed. They said it wasn't
burned from the inside, y'all.
something
So
outside
you're trying
didn't
to
catch
burn
the
up
car on fire.
evidence,
It burned from
obviously.
the inside, which led them to think that obviously something very bad had happened and somebody had set this fire inside the car, and she is missing.
To Matthew Mangino joining us, high-profile lawyer out of Lawrence County, Pennsylvania, and author of The Executioner's Toll. Matthew Mangino, tracking a car usually is an easy matter because there's a VIN number that's etched really on a metal plate inside the car, and you can trace that VIN. It's like a fingerprint, and unless it's been tampered with, like the VIN's replaced, you can tell who bought it, and then the chain of custody that's been sold and resold.
I can't put it on full screen. We're in vertical stream. I'm sorry.
That's an easy matter, but this brings a whole
I'll have
nother
to end
level
this live
to
and
it
start it back on StreamYard. I'm not doing that until I
tried a lot of
discuss it
arson
deeper.
cases, and first you have to prove there was a crime to start with, and that it wasn't an accident. And that can be a Herculean task at times, very difficult. Then, once you prove it's a crime, you got to prove who did it. But if these are connected, you've got a person who is responsible for 3 sets of body parts, a little girl, and you've got a car set on fire. Right now, I think some of the best evidence is what we're going to find in that car.
Well, yeah, I mean, certainly the police are going to scour that vehicle for any evidence that they can find. But when we start to put these pieces together, we have a missing person. We have her vehicle, which has been set afire. And then, we know that through searching the area where these body parts were found, that a blanket, which can be identified as
I could set me up a stream.
Sade's in this park. So now we're starting to get a bigger picture of what's going on here. She's missing. Her family is worried about her. Her family is really in a position where they're saying, maybe the worst has happened here. The police have to match these body parts with Sade or whoever they may be in order to bring this together as
They
know these is her body parts.
A bit
like,
of
what is you
circumstantial
talking
evidence
about?
linking all
They
of these
know
facts.
it's her body
You've got
parts.
a missing high school girl. You've got body parts, which, of course, according to Dr. Eric Eason, by now they can determine is a female. And you've got this blanket. You got the car, body parts. We know it's a female, all in close proximity to Dr. John Delatorre joining us, a renowned psychologist who specializes in forensic psychology. Dr. Delatorre, I was just mentioning that my children have one of those pet tribute blankets. And for that blanket to be found, filthy, discarded, wet, out in some playground, that would be highly unusual. And we've seen blankets, personal blankets, attached to a lot of cases. Just for an example, Kelly Anthony was buried, or not really buried, just thrown away like trash by her mother, Tot Mom Casey Anthony, with her favorite blanket. And I
whole life
could
ahead
list
of her.
many, many more cases where
What you said,
a personal blanket, a
boy.
blanket, not something else, a blanket
I'm starting a
is
stream
with
yard.
the dead body. And
I'm
here
gonna
we're
put the link in
finding
there for y'all.
her personal blanket with her face on it, for Pete's sake, near body parts. So in my mind, they absolutely are connected.
Yeah, they could be. Here's what I would say is that the placement of the blanket will tell us a lot about why that blanket is there. So if it's laid out like that, where it's clear that you can see her face on there, then I think the person that put it there is trying to tell us that these are who the body parts belong to.
Yeah,
if the blanket was
that's
maybe
exactly
crumpled
what
up
they're
and
trying
maybe
to
someone
do.
just kind of extended the blanket, I think that's probably trying to tell us that this person was discarded the same way that the blanket was discarded. So how the blanket was found tells us more about who put it there than I think probably most people would consider.
You know, another issue, Alexis Tereszchuk, we were all on pins and needles trying to find Petito. And her family told us, Alexis, that they had received several unusual texts that didn't seem to be coming from her. For instance, one of them referred to her grandfather by his proper name. Who does that? Like, if I sent a text regarding my mom, I would say, hey, where's mother? I wouldn't say, where is Elizabeth Stokes Grace? I wouldn't say that. And in this case, Sade's mother, Sheena Scarborough, states that she got a very odd text from her daughter just before these remains were discovered.
I'm starting a stream
asking
yard.
her mom because she had $15, and she
Yeah,
wouldn't do
click
that.
that
My
link to come
children
over
wouldn't
to
do
it.
that because they have a bank card connected to me and a credit card connected to me. They don't have to call me if they want to drive through McDonald's and get a quarter pounder. So the mom immediately knew, okay, that's weird. She knew. Why do I care, Alexis?
Like, why would her
Because to
daughter
me,
text her,
that
I need
starts the
$15?
timeline right
Like,
there.
Not showing up for work. She always showed up for work. She was
okay,
very
it's on
reliable.
now,
She was
y'all.
a very responsible young woman, balancing school, 2 schools really, and work. And so then her mom gets a text message saying, I need
When they
$15.
finish with this, I'm
And
gonna
that's such a strange amount. I mean, $15.
go
Maybe the
to the
person,
stream yard.
you know, at work could give you $15 if you needed $15. So she was very suspicious about it. And that is around the same time that her coworkers are reporting that she did not show up for her shift, which was completely out of character for her.
Bill Daly, I can't stress enough how important a timeline is because that could rule in or rule out potential suspects. For instance, if I think I've got a suspect and I know what time that unusual text was, what if my suspect is out of town?
Yeah, I'll click the stream
or
yard link.
at work, clocked in? Then that suspect is out. So, you know, there are a lot of ways to look at it, but here's an example, and timelines start in very unusual ways. For instance, here's a high-profile timeline start. Do you remember in the O.J. Simpson prosecution, neighbors heard, as they put it, a plaintive wail from the dog, Akita. They had never heard it before. It was like the dog was crying and screaming at the same time. They had never
Y'all gonna come to the
heard
stream
that.
yard?
And I'm telling you, that marked the beginning of the timeline in that case. About right then, O.J. Simpson was running back to his Bronco to get away from the crime scene. And Simpson, if you disagree, come on and explain to me what really happened that night. And subject
It's
yourself
crazy
to my
that she said
cross-examination.
this, y'all.
So what I'm saying is
Simpson
that
come explain this
text,
because O.J. Simpson was dead. When this aired, he was dead. When she was like, come and explain it to me then, he was dead, y'all.
right there could mark the beginning of this timeline.
You're right, Nancy. Much being of a timeline of suspicious kind of behavior, but we also need to look at the timeline much broader than this. We need to look at seeing where that phone was, and by using analysis, and the FBI is great at this, and perhaps they're helping Milwaukee police on this with their CAST team. They can start to look and see the location of that phone all the way along, including when that text message was sent, and then perhaps further on where that phone was until maybe the battery dies or it's turned off. So there's a lot of things in here, but the timeline, as you said, is very important because it does start to suggest that perhaps there was someone else who was in control of that phone.
Sade Robinson's family joins the searches near the playground over the weekend. While police find unidentified human remains, Robinson's family discovers a blanket belonging to Sade. The distinct pink blanket pictures Sade with her beloved dog, Coco Chanel, who passed away. As more human remains are discovered, the family is losing hope Sade will be found alive.
Okay, so that was that, and then
Milwaukee sheriffs reveal
him.
Maxwell Anderson remains in custody as a person of interest connected to the remains found along Lake Michigan. Anderson has not yet been criminally charged, but does have a rap sheet. Anderson has several convictions, including disorderly conduct, domestic abuse, and DUI over the last 10 years. In 2 incidents, Anderson became violent with relatives, and in a third, beat a stranger who intervened in an argument between Anderson and a woman. Anderson is said to work as a bartender for several establishments in the Milwaukee area.
Alexis Tereszchuk, what, if anything, does this guy, this convict, have to do with a high school girl?
That's what the police are keeping a little close to their chest, but what they have said is cell phone records. So a cell phone of his pinged near either where they found the car or where they found discovered perhaps one of the human remains, but most likely the car. A cell phone data put him in proximity to where they believe that Sade is missing or last seen. So that is a big telltale sign of his phone.
To me, Bill Daly, it sounds like stranger on stranger. Because we haven't found any link between this convict and a high school girl, but evidence is pouring in to make that charging decision. For instance, blood found in Anderson's home matches the leg discovered at Warnemont Park. Blood evidence was discovered in Anderson's residence. And also, we're learning that Anderson, quote, was in contact with a missing person based on those cell phone records. Okay, what about it, Bill?
Yeah, Nancy, in fact, reading through on this story, it was this person of interest attorney who came out and actually said that police had used some cell tower information and perhaps some, it was kind of vague as far as perhaps some contact or some knowledge of a missing person. So
this is his
there's a
background.
number of things tied together here, but as you rightly said, is that this is only
these
enough
don't make him a murderer, but clearly,
it's nothing more to
based
say
off
that
what he did, he's
Matthew
definitely a
Mangino,
murderer.
you think I need more than that? I got a
What I'm
severed
about
leg,
to
a
do
missing
now
girl, and blood in
is
it.
I'm ending this live on StreamYard. On the vertical. Come join me on StreamYard. Let me show y'all. Y'all come join the StreamYard. Come and get on the StreamYard. Here we go. Hey. Hey. Alright, so come to the StreamYard. Or don't. But I'm about to get up off here. I'll pin the link. The link is pinned. Come to the StreamYard. I'll see y'all there. Peace out.